Good afternoon, everyone. This is Mon Korean going live today from Tiju's Academy, Tiruvalla. Hope everyone is doing good. And let's start today's session. Let's see what do we have in store for you today. So let's see what are we going to do. So how speaking skills can be useful in real life situations. And also I'll be discussing, or I have a few slides that I have put up, how speaking is assessed. Speaking എങ്ങനെ assess ചെയ്യുന്ന അതും ഞാൻ കുറച്ച് slides ഇതിൽ add ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്, apart from how useful it will be in your real life situations when you go abroad or when you go for studies or when you go for work. സാധാരണ IELTS എടുക്കുന്ന main objective അതാണല്ലോ. The main objective of writing your IELTS test is that you are planning to go abroad or for a job or a career. ജോലിക്ക് വേണ്ടി അല്ലെങ്കിൽ പഠിക്കാനായിരിക്കും നിങ്ങൾ, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ to migrate. So these are the real life situations എങ്ങനെ യൂസ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റും. That's how I have prepared and how these are assessed in your IELTS speaking examination as well. So let's start with the first slide. ഇത് ആദ്യത്തെ നമുക്ക് നോക്കാം. Let's see. The speaking test is an essential component you need to ace in order to get the IELTS band scores necessary to pursue your overseas dream. So speaking test essential aana because that is how you're judged out of the three other modules. Speaking is one of them, apart from listening, reading and writing, right? So that you get good scores and you can go abroad for pursuing your dreams. However, preparing for it shouldn't be seen as a chore varanga joli. In fact, you should relish the opportunity to take your speaking ability in real world conditions where the stakes are high. Whether you're looking to enter your dream course or about to embark on an exciting career. So, as I said before, idoru joli aite edukalle. It is going to help you in your day-to-day life as well, because you are going to a country where the language that is spoken is not your mother tongue. It's a language of their country, our native language. That would be most probably English is what we do here in IELTS. So you will be speaking and interacting and conversing with people in English. So don't take it as a chore. No, it shouldn't be that. You should take it as you should enjoy learning, because you are going to communicate in your work as well as in your college or your schools, wherever you're going. There are two other options. So make sure whenever you're learning, whenever you're studying, you should enjoy it and not take it as a chore or a work. Enjoy, relish it, learn, because you have to interact with so many people when you go there. The moment you get down in that country, the language that you'll be speaking the most will be English and not your mother tongue. And I'm pretty sure most of you as students will be having roommates who will be of different nationalities and coming from different countries. And in order to interact with them, namakku English thanne aayirikkum vendiye. So you will not be speaking in your mother tongue, you will be speaking in English. So if you have a better way of speaking, communicate nalla pole English cheyan pattuvaanengi, the person who is listening to you will understand, and you can vice versa namaloru nalloru communication edapeda. Right. So whether it be a job with your colleagues or whether you're going to study in a school or a college where you have to speak with other classmates or teammates, you need English. Okay. So namakku adutha slide nokka. So speaking skills are essential to helping you maximize your chances of advancing ahead. In this article, we will take you through what exactly the IELTS speaking test evaluates and how those particular speaking skills are critical for your future educational and business success. So, Adya mentioned it's important not only for your day-to-day life, but also because if you have a good communication skills, you will be advancing ahead, right? Whether it be your schools or colleges, or whether you're doing a business or you're working in an institute or a company, you have to have good communication skills, because that's how you are judged and that's how you are advanced or you get promotions and you excel in your work. So speaking test evaluation nammal eppozhum cheyanam. Okay, let's see what's the other slide, the next slide. The 4 critical speaking skills being evaluated in the IELTS speaking test. So there are 4 parameters. The first one, 4 parameters are judged. We are being judged in 4 parameters, evaluated, or our band scores kittana 4 parameters. Let's check what's the first one. Aditya parameter and fluency and coherence. So fluency represents how easy you are able to speak without pauses, hesitation or repetition. It's about assessing how comfortable and confident you are in speaking while maintaining a good speaking pace. Fluency എന്താണ്? How you speak without pauses, hesitation or repetition. Pauses പറഞ്ഞാൽ നമ്മൾ ഒരു വാക്ക് പറഞ്ഞിട്ട് we are looking or searching humming ഇടുന്നുണ്ട്, hesitate ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട്, comma വരുന്നുണ്ട്, longer pause, longer comma and repetition. പറഞ്ഞ വേർഡ് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ പറഞ്ഞ സെൻറ്റൻസ് പിന്നെയും റിപ്പീറ്റ് ചെയ്യുക. Right? This is going to affect your fluency mark. Fluency scores in അത് affect ചെയ്യും. So you have to speak without any pauses, hesitation or repetition. You have to speak in a fluent way. ഒരു വെള്ളം ഒഴുകുന്ന പോലെ you have to speak fluently. ഫ്ലോയിൽ പോകണം. That is fluency. And what's coherence? Coherence, on the other hand, is about the logical sequencing of sentences and ideas and how they link together. You will be assessed to see how easy your listener can understand and follow your ideas and point of view. For example, നമ്മൾ ഫ്ലുവൻസി പറഞ്ഞ് നമ്മൾ എങ്ങനെ ഒരു വെള്ളത്തിൻ്റെ ഒഴുക്ക് പോലെ let it flow like water, അല്ലെ, വെള്ളം ഒഴുകുന്ന പോലെ, without any pauses, without any hesitations or repetitions. That is fluency. At the same time, coherence എന്തുവാ? Coherence is sequence. നമ്മൾ ഒരു സെൻറ്റൻസ്, ഐഡിയാസ്, how you are linking them together. അത് 1 2 3 4 5 6 ഓരോ ഐഡിയാസ്, ഓരോ ദ സെൻറ്റൻസസ് നമ്മൾ നല്ലപോലെ പറയുന്നുണ്ടോ ഇല്ല, ആർ വി സ്പീക്കിംഗ് ദീസ് കൊഹറൻ്റ്ലി, നല്ലപോലെ അസസ് ചെയ്ത് നമ്മൾ പറയുന്നുണ്ടോ ഇല്ലയോ. ഫോർ എക്സാമ്പിൾ, if you see in the cue card, നമ്മളുടെ cue card കാണുമ്പോൾ, if you look at the cue card, you will be given a main question, you will have a main question. അതിൻ്റെ അടിയിൽ if you see the sub questions or the prompts, ഒന്ന് രണ്ട്, usually there are 4 prompts. What you did, how you did, with whom you did, and how was your experience, right? 1 2 3 4. How are you sequencing these 4 prompts and with your ideas അത് ലിങ്ക് ചെയ്തിട്ട് എങ്ങനെയാണ് നല്ലപോലെ പറയുന്നതാണ് coherence. Especially this is checked in your part 2, നമ്മളുടെ cue card or the task sessionൽ ഇത് നല്ലപോലെ അവർ ജഡ്ജ് ചെയ്യും. The examiner is going to judge you on your fluency and coherence in your cue card session, because they want to know whether you are able to sequence the sentences and ideas and link them together. Right? So adana fluency and coherence. Fluency is how you go in a flow without any hesitation, without any pauses and without any repetition. And coherence is how you are sequencing the sentences and ideas and how do you change them or link them together and speak. Fine. Let's go to the next slide and let's see what's the next slide. Depth of vocabulary. So vocabulary, also known as lexical resource. So band score നമ്മൾ നോക്കുമ്പോൾ it will be GRA, vocabularyൻ്റെ പകരം അവിടെ വരുന്നതാണ് lexical resources. So depth of vocabulary or vocabulary is also known as lexical resource. You will be evaluated on the range of your vocabulary as well as how you use them. This means stringing about simple and complex words during the appropriate time and relevant context. Showcasing your vocabulary depth includes using phrasal verbs, figurative language, and paraphrasing using a variety of expressions. What you should do is, as I mentioned, ഞാൻ കുറേ പഴയ ലൈവ് സെഷൻസിൽ പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുണ്ട്, to increase your vocabulary, make a habit of reading. Reading is a very good way of increasing your vocabulary skills. ആ skills നമ്മളുടെ കൂടും. And if you don't know a word, look at the word's meaning in the dictionary and അതിൻ്റെ synonyms നോക്കണം. Right? Instead of using the same word over and over again, when you know the meaning of the word and when you know the different synonyms related to that word, you can stop repeating those words and nalla vocabulary use it. You can get good scores in your lexical resource. That's your vocabulary. Most of the time, the scores vocabulary, the reason that your scores are not going high in your vocabulary is only associated with your reading skills. നമ്മൾ അധികം വായിക്കുന്നില്ല. We don't read and we are not known about other words. We just know limited words ഇല്ല നമ്മൾ വായിക്കുന്ന, and we just know those limited words. We are not looking out or searching for new words because we don't have a reading habit. Most of us here, most of the students that come even now or from before also I've seen, is more glued to the social media, the watching reels and watching videos, but reading habit illa. Your vocabulary will only increase if you have a reading habit. at least read the newspaper daily and start reading. Kindle on that, there are so many ebooks available in the internet. All you need to do is just look over that books and read. The moment you start reading, every day you'll learn a few words. Look out the meaning of those words, words in the meaning nokuva, and the synonyms nokuva, right? And then use those in your daily speeches, in your daily practices, and this is how your vocabulary is going to increase, right? The vocabulary is not going to increase in one day because it takes a lot of time. Reading habit when new words vannalalle namakku vocabulary improve cheyan pattathullu. So make sure you have a reading habit, and start it from today. Day 1, start reading a passage or two a day. Buy a book that's of your interest. Ningalde interest ulla subject inde oru book medikkuva, or you have ebooks, right? And start reading it. Read a passage a day or a page or two a day, and then read it the next day, and slowly develop your interest. Vaikum interest thanne develop agum, and once you develop an interest in reading, your vocabulary will increase because you will be seeing and learning new words every day, and you will be getting synonyms. Dictionary under, there are so many apps where you can find out the synonyms, and when you use it in your daily speech or your daily speaking sessions, it will help you. Fine. So let's move over to the next slide. Grammatical range and accuracy. So third parameter ആണ് grammatical range. GRA പറയും, grammatical range and accuracy. So what's it? Grammar ആണ് basically what's ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നത്. So the grammatical range refers to how accurate, complex and appropriate you use of the grammar is when speaking, how you use your grammar while speaking. This means that playing it safe by focusing only on short and simple sentences won't give you a good score. Very true. So നമ്മളുടെ grammar ആണെങ്കിൽ, for example, if you know, when it comes മൂന്ന് part ഉണ്ട്, everyone knows there are 3 parts in the speaking session. The first part is called the warm-up session, the second part is called the cue card or the task card, and the third is your follow-up session. So when it comes to the part 1, ആദ്യത്തെ part ആണെങ്കിൽ part 1, the warm-up session, right? In the warm-up session, the questions that are asked to you are very simple sentences question. Maybe 2 or 3 sentences. Do you like, your likes, dislikes, what you do and what you don't do, right? You can play it safe there. Avade namakku safe aayittu kalikkan pattum, or we can speak oru 2-3 sentence. Yes, I like this. Yes, I do this. No, I don't parangittu namakku we can try to save ourselves. But when it comes to the follow-up session varumbo, the problem is you have to speak in general, not in personal ആയിട്ടല്ല, general ആയിട്ട് സംസാരിക്കേണ്ടി. And there the minimum, at least you need to speak 4 to 5 sentences minimum, and the examiner is going to counter strike and ask you more questions regarding why do you feel, give your opinion, give an example, angane okay, examiner is going to ask you. So there you have to focus that you're not only good on short answers, but you can also give long answers. That's in your part 3, that's your follow-up. So what does it say here? This means that playing it safe by focusing only on short and simple sentences won't give you a good score. So part 3 varuvaanengi, when it's your follow-up session, you have to give at least 4 to 5 sentences answer ആയിരിക്കും കൊടുക്കേണ്ടിയെ, right? And there you cannot be short, yes, no പറഞ്ഞിട്ട് നമുക്ക് രക്ഷപ്പെടാൻ പറ്റത്തില്ല. It's not, because the examiner is going to counter strike and he's going to ask you why, give your opinion, or he's going to say something and he would need you to answer that. So there you have to show your grammatical abilities, that you're good in your grammar, right? You will need to showcase a wide range of sentences, structures, the ability to switch between passive and active voices, as well as use hypotheticals and conditional clauses when you speak. Very true. Why? Because the examiner asks Sameta, and it happened. If you are practicing and if you have seen any of your old friends or your colleagues who have already attended the speaking session, parisha ezhudittundengi, just ask him or her if the examiner interrupted and asked you why, choikyu, right? Because they want to know whether you can switch between passive and active voices as well, and whether your grammatical structure and your sentence structuring is good or not. So make sure when you're practicing grammar, you're good at it. So that's one other criteria where you are analyzed, or where your band scores are given. That is your grammatical range or your grammatical range and accuracy. That's the third parameter. And let's now move over to the next slide and see what's the fourth parameter. Okay, the fourth is pronunciation. So ഞാൻ ഇതിൻ്റെ മുമ്പേ പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുണ്ട്, pronunciation is important, not the accent. Don't worry about the accent. The examiners are trained, they know accent varum, but that's not the issue. The issue is the pronunciation. The final skill being tested is how comprehensible your speech is to the listener. Will the listener have a strain to hear and process your words? With the right emotion be conveyed, as well as the correct level of stress at the word and sentence level. Examiners will want to see that you can pronounce each word correctly and use the correct phonemes, individual sounds that distinguish one word from the other. So as I mentioned before, don't worry about the accent. Keep it aside, that's fine. Accent maratilla kanum, there will be a mother tongue influence undu cherathu kanum, but pronunciation should be clear, because the listener needs to understand the word ningal paranje. He or she, whoever is listening to you, whether it's your examiner, once you finish your exam and you go to a native speaking country, avade English speaking country povaninge, the people there with whom you are going to communicate and talk to, they should also understand and process what you said. The listener, the person who's going to listen to you, right? So make sure your pronunciation is clear. Practice as much as possible pronunciation, how a word is pronounced clearly, and correct stress where the stress should be given on each of the word in the aspect. The first lana, last lana, middle lana stress and then, as I mentioned before, there are many apps. All you need to do is just type in the word and speaker button press that you can hear how that word is pronounced, and once you listen, you start practicing it, and it's going to help you in the future as well. So make sure your pronunciation is clear and you pronounce correctly. Okay, so now let's move over to the next slide and see what the next slide has in store for us. Okay, how speaking skills help you in your future career and educational journey. So as I mentioned before, we all write IELTS either for going out for a job, or for PR ന് വേണ്ടിയായിരിക്കും, ജോബിന് വേണ്ടിയായിരിക്കും, വർക്ക് വിസയിലായിരിക്കും പോകുന്നു, or you're going for your to pursue your higher studies, maybe your masters or your bachelors, whatever, after your 10th 12th, or your bachelors കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ടായിരിക്കും masters കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് another masters എടുക്കാനായിരിക്കും. So how speaking skills will help you in your future career as well as your educational journey. The first one, it helps you communicate better with your teammates and professors in college and schools, right? Be it in the classroom or boardroom, you will be working and interacting with different stakeholders, right? They can be your fellow peers in school or college, in the same work team. So powerful speaking skills allows you to communicate better and more convincingly to them. This helps to stand out from the pack and be seen as an expert in your field. Right? So നമ്മളെല്ലാം അവിടെ പോകുമ്പോൾ when we go there, we'll be interacting with people from different languages, right? And we'll be working with nationalities from different people from different nations in work in. So if you have a good communication skill, right, whether be it your college, your school, wherever you're going, or at your work, right, if your communication skills is good, right, you can convince the others and they can understand you better, and yes, you are going to excel there. നമുക്ക് അവിടെ job opportunities in kodum, because your communication skill, the moment you apply for different jobs, you will have a better chance of getting the job because of your communication skill, right? You finished your ningal avade poi padikkan poi, you finished your graduation or your bachelor's or your master's, you apply for a job, you go for an interview, and when the interviewer is asking you your questions and you answer in a good communicative, better nalla communicative skills aanengi, you will be eligible for that job. So this is going to help you, right, in your schools, your colleges, as well as in your work, right? Speaking. Okay, let's see what the next slide has in store for us. Okay, you are able to give more engaging presentations. Fine. Imagine yourself giving a class presentation where your peers are grading you, or perhaps you are presenting a business proposal to a few important clients. You definitely want to give the best speech possible. With an impressive vocabulary and wide grammatical range, you'll be able to deliver your ideas smoothly in a compelling way. This doesn't just help your audience to understand you better, it instills trust and confidence in your abilities. Yes. So if your grammar and your vocabulary is good, you can deliver a good speech, right? and the listener will be happy, and you yourself will have the confidence, and your confidence will grow, right? So make sure that you are learning every day. Vocabulary increase ya no ko. Start reading. This is going to help you not even today, but in the future, as I'm mentioning here, right? Your grammar, start working on it from day one. And after your IELTS also, this is going to help you, because you're going to go to a country where you're going to speak in their language, and that is English, and where you can excel. Fine. Okay, let's move over to the next slide, and let's see what's in store for us there. Okay, the third one and the last one. You are able to converse better during your job and school interviews. As I mentioned before, very true, because you have to go through interviews to get through to the next level. And also, when you want to switch from one job to the other, for example, you're working in ABC company and you want to switch over for your career growth in a company, right? So you are able to converse better during a job in school. So where does speaking help you? So let's see, what does it say? Whether you're looking to impress your future employer or a panel of professors, communicating your viewpoints, beliefs, and story, speaking skills are critical to conveying the information in an engaging way. Besides being easily understood, speaking skills allows you to hook your listeners into your story and really connect with them on a deeper level. This is essential as it adds points to how personable you are as well. So, whether it's your job, whether it's your in your colleges and schools, when you're engaging with your professors and your teachers and your lecturers, when you communicate in a good way, they can understand you, and this is going to help you in your future, right? Even for a job change, even after your studies, when you go for a new job, this is going to, even when you're studying, it's going to help you with your professors, your speaking, your tutors, your lecturers, and also your peers, your classmates, right? You can speak with them in a good way. Fine. So these were a few tips that I came up with today. I hope this will help you, and I'll see you in my next live sessions. Take care till that time. Goodbye.